to the channel, everybody. It's 2004 Chrysler PT Cruiser. Actually, they call this one Gen 1. Okay, remember 2006 and up is considered Gen 2. You can tell from the body, even in the inside, you can tell. What's going on is this thing's complaint is she's overheating and no AC. I had to come down to my buddy's shop and check this out, mainly because he don't have one of these. You need these for the Gen 1. Remember I covered this in another video. It's called a DRB3. Alright, so you got to have this to diagnose Gen 1 PT Cruisers. Now a lot of dealers don't have them, but so I had to come out to my buddy's shop. So let's find out. Remember, you're dealing with overheating and AC combined. Chances are you got a cooling fan issue, because that cooling fan affects both. It affects both overheating and it affects AC operation. Remember, you need the cooling fan to pull air through the condenser. Okay, so if there's no air being pulled through the condenser, chances are your AC will not work. So what I always do is check the fan. I go by checking the fan by actuating it. So I'm gonna stroll down to actuated test. Now let me stroll down to, we got a low speed fan relay and a high speed fan relay. Remember, there's no tipper on this car, so it uses a fuse box right here that actually have a relay for those. So what I'm gonna do now is actuate low speed fan relay and see what happens. Off, on. Okay, it should be cycling. Wow, I hear it, but it is barely running. Can y'all see that? Barely running. That's not enough. Even if it was on full-blown low speed, that's not enough to pull airflow through. Alright, let me stop this actuation. Continue actuation. Nope. What I want to see now is how well the high speed fan relay works. Alright, so let's actuate that. Alright, off. It's not switching off and on, but I can hear it cycling. And actually I hear it cycling at the same speed as low speed fan was. So ladies and gentlemen, what we got going on here is a fan issue. This cooling fan is internally shorting out. Alright, so I will have to recommend a cooling fan. Number one, first of all, it's not pulling enough airflow through the radiator or the condenser, and that would definitely cause overheating. And that would definitely also cause your AC not to work, okay, because you need an adequate amount of air to be pulled through the radiator. Now I won't just stop there with my diagnosis. Sure, I'm gonna go farther. I always recommend thermostat when I do things like cooling fan, and I also always let the car up and do a real good visual inspection. So how about we do that now? Let me stop this actuation. It's not showing on and off, but I can hear it actuating on and off. No. Alright, because number one, we're full of coolant. I drove this thing, by the way, and I couldn't get it to overheat, but I can see what's going on. Alright, let me get this thing up in the air, and I'll get right back with you. Do is get the car up in the air and look around. Good visual inspection, man. What you're looking for is any signs of coolant leaks or anything like that. You want to take a good look in the water pump area. You see, that's the water pump area right there. Make sure it's not leaking. And never just, even if your only problem, or even if you first found out that the fan is your problem, never just stop there, man. Always let the car up and give it a good visual inspection. Take a real good close look at that radiator. I've been burnt plenty of times on radiators because I didn't look at it. Okay, it might not show up on the pressure test. Radiators don't always show up on the pressure test for some reason. No, it happens. It happened to me. I was very disappointed in myself when that happened. Alright, so that's one thing. Get the car up in the air and look it over. Alright. Alright, so I got the car back down out of the air. And like I said, what I'm gonna do is tell my buddy they're gonna need a cooling fan, thermostat, and we're gonna do what we call a coolant flush. That's where we basically go through the radiator, make sure it's not clogged up, and try to flush it out. Remember, there's a difference between a draining fill and a radiator flush. Okay, so always bear that in mind. I'm gonna try to do a flush on this one. I want to make sure coolant is flowing through the heater core, because as you know, the heater core is part of the cooling system. So you need that to even have heat. You need coolant to even have heat operation. All right, so I'm gonna recommend the cooling fan, thermostat, and a coolant flush. I didn't see any leak at the water pump, and I didn't see any leak at the radiator. I looked over real good. Radiators will trick you. All right, I'm back with this same PT Cruiser. Now we left off, we was talking about overheating in the fan. There was no strength behind the fan. Well, here's the fan, here's the old fan rather. I got it replaced. Now I'm not sure how you would learn anything from this video unless I show you the end result. So what I'm gonna do is I still got my patented super scan tool, the DRB. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go down to actuator test. I'm gonna actuate the fan and show you the difference between that first fan I had, the strength behind it. It would not blow strong enough to provide airflow through the condenser or the radiator. Okay, so with that being said, or with that being known, we simply had to replace it. Okay, let's do low speed first. All right, I got low speed fan actuating. As you can see, it's toggling off, on. Now, listen to the difference in strength. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see it, but I don't know if you can hear it, but you may can see it. Now that's just low speed. Remember before, it didn't have no strength at all. So now let me turn this one off. No, we're gonna go to high speed. I'm gonna actuate the high speed fan. All right, it's toggling on and off. Now take a look and listen at this. You can hear the difference. There's strength behind this new fan. So basically, I guess the moral of the story is you can't really judge these fans by their appearance. Okay, you definitely can't tell if they're good or bad based on their appearance. So what you have to do is turn them on and off, actuate them, and see how well it performs. Okay, obviously there's something internal going on with the motor, because it would not provide adequate airflow through the condenser or the radiator. So after replacing it, I now have my airflow through the radiator and the condenser. So she now have AC and she's not overheating. Okay, now that's the only reason I went toward the fan on this overheating issue. Normally there's steps I would go through when I'm diagnosing overheating, but because she says she have no AC and she overheating, the one thing that they have in common with is the operation of the fan. The fan has to be working properly in order to provide air conditioning and prevent it from overheating. That's the only reason I went toward the fan first. If that's not your case, follow your steps. Now I got a video coming up on the steps you should go through when diagnosing overheating, especially on this car. So stay tuned for that video. In fact, subscribe to the channel so you will not miss that video. There's actually steps you should go through when you're diagnosing overheating. I mean, number one thing, first thing you gotta verify is, well, I'll talk about that in the video. All right, but for now, I'm gonna wrap this video up. This fan is working properly as designed, no more overheating, and her AC is freezing cold. Thanks for watching, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next video.